All right, folks. This is probably going to be the last for right now of me and Thugtician, or me responding to Thugtician's videos. And there's more, but I'm gonna uh, kind of break it up a little bit. Next will probably be Pink Elephant, but I want to do this one because there's uh, things that I do agree with him in. In fact, there's a lot in this video I do agree with him in. And some of what people were saying about 1.0's agenda, I think it was incorrect. Either they misinterpreted it, or maybe there's other stuff that I haven't heard of his delivery. Because like I said, we're only getting the remnants of what he said. He probably said way more than this. I'm sure at some point, the like 2,500 shows that I've done over 9 years will probably disappear into ether too, and there won't be there'll only be remnants of what BGS may have said or might have said, or BGS is, was an asshole of not worth listening to. But with that being said, we're going to dig into this, and I wanted to end this particular series of videos with something where we actually do agree more on, rather than me being in opposition to it, because nobody uh, agrees or disagrees 100%. And if we did, I probably wouldn't be here. So anyhow, let's go ahead and get into this. This is Thugtician's agenda, according to the uploader.
Being a black man. And to keep it really simple, I just got fed up of every broken down loser, racist trash, and Uncle Tom scapegoating black men as the cause of every problem that ever hit the human race. I just got tired of people dogging out black men and nobody speaking out in our defense.
Amen. I said the same thing, which is the reason that I came here.
I'm tired of whites portraying black men as thieves, murderers, and rapists. I'm tired of pussy begging Uncle Toms trying to redirect the negative propaganda we all endure as black men from themselves onto other black men. And yes, I'm tired of black women's never-ending slanders on black men on every public platform given to them without a care for how that may impact on the minds of the black boys and men around them and on the black community at large.
Facts. So saying that Thugtician was anti-pro-black is probably not true. Okay, I can't swear by it, but according to what I'm listening to, his own agenda, he's very pro-black. He's a men's rights advocate. And he's very pro-black. He was not anti-black community. Now, this, like you said, you can't take a man out of his time. Like this is, I think, 2009, 2010, where these remnants are coming from. So, what he may have said in in contrast to what he's saying right now, I can't say. But according to this, he seems pretty pro-black to me, and he seems pro-black community to me. Okay, so far. So the saying that he wasn't, I'm not hearing it right now.
I started making videos on YouTube because no one was speaking out for black men. No one was presenting an uncompromising black male perspective. No one anywhere was presenting a black male perspective that I could buy into, namely one which didn't sacrifice any black man or group of black men to appease those who hold a grievance against black men. One way or another, those who claim to speak on behalf of black men always find themselves obligated to concede that some black man somewhere is fucking up.
Well, that's true. That's true, but that's beyond the point. So I agree with him there. The isolated incident here or there that could be projected on any group, and trying to make the exception the rule is what they try to do. So I understand why he's saying this.
And that shuts down each and every opportunity to conduct a holistic examination of any problem. No matter what the problem is, it's always deemed to be a problem caused by bad black men. And that's where the inquiry ends. Well, the inquiry doesn't end there for me. They can't whip me back into line with thug-blaming rhetoric, because I dispute their charges with extreme prejudice. I have the will, the brains, and all the evidence I need to prosecute them, unlike most. You see, there are a whole host of other factors that are never touched upon in any debate about the cause of dysfunction in the black community, because too many interests and agendas are served by painting every problem as a problem with black men. Well, I have no such interests. I am independent and beholden to no one, free to say what I like about who I dislike. As
In other words, he didn't buy into the the nationalists or pro-black uh, kowtowing of for black women. The Queen syndrome, and knowing that black women hold the purses, you have to be independent to especially back then, to speak out against the harsh criticism of black men. To speak out against the harsh criticism of black men. So I understand why he did it, because back then and still today, black women hold the purse strings.
as a result of my outspokenness, I've acquired an army of haters, most of whom are an assemblage of pussy beggars, New World Order conspiracy theory wackos.
And now, pussy beggars, that for people that don't know, were pickup artists, and dating coaches and stuff like that. Those were known back then as pussy beggars.
White women chasers, stalkers, woman controlling Bible bashers, racist.
Now, when he says white women chasers, he's talking about SYSBM. Okay, back then. So to say that SYSBM was the prevailing thought of Manosphere 1.0 is not true. Coming from one of the heroes of Manosphere 1.0, SYSBM, as I thought when I first got here in 2015, was on the outside of the black manosphere. They were not very much liked, as you can tell by Thugtician.
Child abusers, and an assortment of drama-loving attention seekers on the periphery. In other words, too no count to count. Now I'm still waiting for a hate Thugtician video that has bite to it. The latest one is a three-part series, and the sad sack who made it was so determined to kill the legend of Thugtician that he needed 3 videos to get the job done. How frustrated must he be feeling right now? I almost feel for the clown, like I should reward his effort and at least mention his name, but it's unwise to indulge the delusions of the clinically insane. One of his more recent videos was a paranoia-loaded rant about the so-called sexualization of teenage girls. But I can't shake the revolting suspicion that the most sordid sexualization of little girls takes place in his sexual fantasies. Kind of reminds me of those Catholicing priests who rail against immorality by day, but fiddle with choir boys by night. Anyway, the point is I have a platform, and despite the many feeble attempts to knock me off my platform, I'm still standing tall, erect, and in your face.
I agree with him there, because I've had many people take swings at my channel and my character, and amongst other things, and they came very close, in 2018, and not because of what they said about me. So, but at the end of the day, guess what? 9 years later, I'm still standing erect and strong, just like he said he was back then.
On my platform. The thing that burns my haters most of all is that my platform is much bigger than theirs, if you know what I mean. Now, getting back to important issues, I have formulated a 4-point agenda, which consists of the following. 1. I believe that men's rights and the role of fatherhood have been undermined by the feminization of society, and that the fallout from that has been felt most acutely in the black community, leading to
True, facts. I believe that too. If you trace back the history, it's almost, how can I say, inarguable.
a situation where the intact black family is almost non-existent.
Very, very much so. Okay, and in the UK, I can't speak for the UK, but the black family in the United States, it's very obvious.
Two, I believe that the family, and by family I mean mother, child, and father, is the foundation on which culture and nations are built. Without family, you have neither. Any people who do not understand the importance of intact family and make the maintenance of the man, woman, and child model of family their top priority ends up looking like the black community does today.
That is true. That's what Clark called it, the tangle of pathology, uh, and he wanted to stop it from being spread. He agreed with you. Okay, if you go back and look at Clark, Monahan, and their ilk, Frazier and their ilk, they will tell you the exact same thing.
Three, I believe the way to address this is for right thinking black men to come together to discuss this problem and formulate solutions to them. Simple as. Four,
That's true, and I think that was the basis of black people coming together. And it wasn't just to make money, it wasn't just to be a brotherhood, it was to save or at least correct the vagaries of the issues of the black community and the black family. According to 1.0, okay, to one of your heroes, to saying it was supposed to be indifferent and black men were supposed to go their own way and date out and all that kind of stuff, which, I have no issue with. I never had an issue with it from the very beginning. If that's what you want to do, and that's what makes you happy, that what makes you fit in, I agree with it. But to say that the black manosphere 1.0 was completely indifferent and getting away from the so-called community is untrue, at least as far as I can find. Now, other people, that was always outliers of people saying a different agenda, but for the vast majority of the so-called 1.0 manosphere, this is all I've heard. I've never heard anything against it, except for maybe a couple people and frustrated people. And this is toward the end. Sergeant Willie P., who's still here, who was there then, is still here now. You know, keep saying the exact same thing that Thugtician is saying. So, what you guys are saying about it being something else, I think it's more mythology.
I believe a men's rights movement among black men who are conscious of these problems and have a grasp of the full scope
And that's again, he was not a manosphere. He was not SYSBM. He was not MGTOW. Okay. He was a men's rights activist. He was that portion of the red pill. MGTOW, I don't think had developed yet. So what you had is pussy beggars or what he called pickup artists, and he had men's rights activists. So he was a black men's rights activist, much like Valdez or Angry Man and Obsidian was. Okay, where they were black men's rights activists that formed the Black Manosphere in 2015.
of them is necessary to achieve those aims. Plain, simple, and clear. That is my agenda. Ooh, Thugtician has an agenda. That's right, I've got my agenda. Get your own. If you're as good as you say,
If you're as good as you say you are, if you're as good as you say you are, then yeah. If you're good as you say you are, then get your own agenda. That is agreed. We are 13 minutes in. Let's see if we can get a short